Hey there, and welcome to The Bridge. My name is Zion.
And my name is Armani. Welcome to the second season of You Know What It Is, the only television show written by DeKalb students, produced by DeKalb students, and performed by, yes, DeKalb students. I am from Tucker High School.
And I'm from Columbia High School. We have a great show for you today.
Boys run this.
This is a man's world.
Yeah. Yes, in this episode we will talk about issues that relate to young men.
We also have a special spoken word performance by The Bridge's very own, Kelli.
And we also will be kicking back with Greg Street.
So relax and stay tuned.
Welcome back to The Bridge.
Welcome back. Now we will have a special performance by saxophonist Yen Betah.
If you tell me I'm wrong, then I don't wanna be right. If you tell me I'm wrong, then I don't wanna be right. Now you say it. If you tell me I'm wrong, I don't wanna be right. And if you tell me I'm wrong,
for trying to reach the things that I can't see. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Trying to reach the things that I can't see. So am I wrong for thinking that we could be something for real? Now am I wrong
Hello, my name is Armani Walton,
And my name is Zion Moore.
and we are here with Kenny.
And Mr. Greg Street himself.
And today they're gonna tune us in on real men leadership. Now fellas, now you know today in society, we don't have a lot of young men to look up to because a lot of men do really wrong things. So what is your intake about that?
Don't everybody talk at one time.
I know it's a lot to discuss, but what is a real intake on that?
I feel like, it should be more older men, like, stepping up to the plate and saying, I'm going to take, this young man, even though he may not have somebody to mentor him, I'm going to take him under my wing and show him, the way to be. Because today, I hate to say it, but it's a lot of single mothers and, a lot of fathers aren't there. So, if just I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like somebody that's, a good role model can just take someone under their wing. It would make it a lot easier.
Feel like, because if you don't grow up with your dad around in the household, that you're gonna end up not being a real leader. Now, I beg to differ, because I feel like we're all leaders, right? All leaders. So what's a way, speaking Greg Street, what's a way that you can maintain good leadership as a young man without a dad?
Learning to be a good follower and learning to understand what it is to find a good leader. A lot of us look up to people that we think are role models for the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. And when the real role models are the people right there in your community, like somebody that's a friend to your family, somebody that's a local politician, somebody that's a local business owner in the community, some of your teachers, some of your coaches, some of the people in your church, some of the people that you see on a day-to-day basis that are doing positive things. And we have to stop trying to measure people in society and looking at people in society that we want to be like based on their accomplishments that the media, quote unquote, looks at or promotes.
I think that as men, we gotta step our game up, because it's a lot of us who just aren't doing anything, and that's partially because we don't have an end goal. And once you get that end goal, it's so much easier to maneuver through life. But as long as I'm doing, whatever happens day to day, I'm living, instead of having that goal, then you aren't achieving anything because there's nothing to achieve.
Right, having plans and having goals.
Now, do you all think that the music that we listen to, it reflects on how we behave?
Definitely. I think it has a big effect on young men. I think they listen to all these music and these rap stars, and they're rapping about disrespect towards women, sex, disrespecting authority, doing drugs, going to jail. And it just, instead of them trying to find a male to look up to with positive moral values, they're listening to these rappers and they're looking up to them for the wrong reasons when they're rapping about all this chaos and all these things that aren't very honorable. And one thing that one of my teachers told me about that, he was like, I'm gonna just use Jay-Z for an example, how he raps about drugs. He was like, even though they may rap about that, people are following that example that they're rapping about, but they don't live that life anymore. They're rapping about where they came from. Right. And they were saying that, just because they rap about it doesn't mean that's what they're trying to promote. They're just, telling their story. So
I sort of, I don't necessarily technically agree with that, because I know a whole bunch of preppy kids, sitting there going to whatever school they go to, the nice little turtleneck whatever, and they listen to trap music, and
they're not trapping.
And they're not trapping, but these are people who, they still got their 4.0, they still heading on to whatever field they do, and they're still, I already have all the credits in checking.
I think society looks for things that we do in our community to put a dark cloud over it, and music is just like TV. I think the internet and what's going on the internet in our community is really more of a negative influence on our community than the music is now. I think the blog sites and the internet sites and things, the content that's being posted that the kids are gravitating to is really way more negative than the music. The punching, the knocking people out, the fighting, just the different things that are going on that we think is cool. And I think for programs like this is great because it's giving kids something positive to see. And that's really what we need more of. These type of shows should be on prime time, instead of just the local cable stations. People around the world should be able to see these shows because this is what we need. We need more of this than media take out World Star and TMZ.
Right.
And there's been so much like negative, feedback that I feel like, we have so much to prove. Like we have something that we have to say, okay, well, even though you may perceive us to be this way, we can present ourselves in a, distinct manner. And it's kind of hard to come back from what people already see you and assume how you are without even knowing you or speaking to you.
Why do you think your peers are drawn towards the negative aspects, some of the world star stuff? Why do you think your peers are drawn into that as a form of entertainment, or attributing themselves and aligning themselves with that? Because you can see people reposting those things thousands of times on social media, whereas if you have a gathering like this, it might only get like 1 or 2 likes, you know what I mean? Right. So why do you think that's the case?
I think just in society in general, train wreck, if I say to myself, like reality TV shows and fights or whatever it is, I think it sells more. And even though it's not necessarily positive, it's what's in society today.
So I think like some people are drawn to like the websites and like with the fights because they think that's just more entertaining to them than like how you said like a show like this it's not really, I mean, there may be people who like it, but just don't express that because they don't think their friends will accept, oh, I like this, but this fight over here is much more like cool and entertaining. It's just like,
why watch a fight on World Star and anything where you can just go to a $3 movie that done came out a long time ago? It's like, why entertain the negativity when you can go entertain something positive and maybe take a girl out with you to go to a movie or anything?
I think it's like that because of the access, and if you really look at history in our community, that's what it's always been about. Like people who don't want to step up to the challenge of going to school, playing football, going to practice, or being a cheerleader, going to practice, or playing in band, going to practice. To do the right thing, it takes a lot of work. Because you got to practice, you got to rehearse, you got to put time into it. So, the negative things are always so easy to do. So, and then it's supposed to be the quote unquote cool thing to do. So I think a lot of people use the cool thing to do and the negative thing to do as an excuse not to step up to the plate, to do the positive things that it takes to really be great in society.
And then it takes somebody to say, okay, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to, I'm going to carry myself a certain way so nobody catches a fight on me, on World Star, because if more people would do that, then nobody would have anything to look at and they would have to look at the positives. So.
Now, speaking on being positive and cool, what are some ways that you all think that you could be positive and cool and express yourself?
Standing out from the crowd and whatever you choose to do, long as it's positive. That don't mean go, smoke a blunt or anything, trying to promote, but anything positive it separates you from the rest. And it's okay to tell other people, hey, that's not cool, or I don't want to do that. And a lot of young men get that misconstrued today. So that's definitely.
And I think that you should surround yourself around people that will promote the things that you try to do that are positive, and then that can actually encourage you to finish it off and complete it. And those friends will probably last a lifetime, and you can carry them along, and they can help each other. And those are people that you really need to find in life.
Right. There's a new rapper that just came out from Chicago, and he held this benefit concert in Chicago, and basically a whole bunch of crime had just stopped for that entire day. He just had this whole concert and everything, and everybody just came out and they watched him perform and everything, and it was just crime in the city had just dropped drastically for that day. And it was just, they call it that whole day of nonviolence, so to speak. And then, and I was a rapper, so pretty powerful.
I just think that people, I just think you should care about only what you like. You shouldn't care about what anyone thinks. Your real friends will like you for you. They won't like you because you have these type of shoes or you think a fight is entertaining just because everyone else does. Your real friends are gonna respect you for being you and not caring what anyone thinks and following your heart and following your own morals and your own beliefs.
And you and your friends have to have long-term plans. It can't just be about the new Jordans that's coming out this week. You know what I'm saying? It's all about having a long-term plan. You want to have fun in the meantime in your current life. You want to enjoy what's going on, but having a long-term plan, having goals, reading about things that you have interest in. Because like if you have personal interest in different things, I don't care if it's sports, if it's video games, if it's fashion, if it's cars, whatever it is, if you start to really learn about it at an early age, these things become careers. And like if you really have a career, you don't really have a job. And a lot of young people don't understand that because we always trying to hustle to get that little money, to get the Jordans, or hustle that little money to get these jeans, or get this shirt, or get this jersey, or get this jacket. And it's really all about having a long-term plan to be able to understand what it takes to be successful in life in the long term.
Yeah, and I think the other piece of it is I think that's what separates leaders from followers is being able to make those tough decisions to say, I'm going to do something different. It's very easy to become a follower. Followers do what everybody else is doing, but leaders are willing to take a stand and go in a different direction. However, in order to be a good leader, you also must learn how to be a good follower, like Greg said earlier. But what separates a follower from a leader is being able to make the decision and setting positive outlooks and positive goals. And when it's time to make a decision to go in a different direction, that you're willing to take that stand.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up for real. Now, it's been great talking to you all. Join us in our next kickback as we talk guy code.
Morning, nerds. Wasn't very satisfied with your performance last class, so we're gonna go over the... Yes, Franklin?
If we get out the shower clean, how come our towels are always dirty?
Hey, Ryan. Hey, Devin. How's it going? It's going good. I know it's going good for you. After all, the first week on the job is the best one. Yeah, it's always the easiest. So you got those hooks papers in your computer? You got those hooks papers in your computer? Do you have the hooks papers on your computer? Do you have the hooks papers on your computer? No, I don't think I do. One day in New York City, an insane thunderstorm hit. And Ryan Lawrence was cursed with the power that whenever someone says a question, he must repeat it twice, singing off-key with horrible dancing. He is the mimic. Oh gosh, do you need any help?
Yeah, can you just help me lift it up, please?
You just help me lift this up, please.
Hey, serious, it's slipping. I'm really struggling.
Help me lift it up, yeah, lift it up, yeah, lift it up. What's this? Oh my gosh, miss, are you okay?
Am I okay? Really?
And people call me weird.
Okay. What do you mean that's uniform?
This is uniform.
That can't be a
this
uniform. Look at the money sign.
Look at this, it's a sweater.
Oh, for real? Oh, well then,
Right.
I'm Mia from Stevenson High.
And I'm Armani from Tucker High, and this is Dapperistas. Now today on Dapperistas, we will be giving you a demonstration from models what is appropriate when wearing a uniform.
Like, if I were to go to a uniform school, I can't be dressed like this.
Right, and most likely can't be in money pants. So, starting with our very first male model, Osaya.
Ooh.
Yep, he's wearing a blue vest, polo vest, with a bow tie.
Okay.
With stripes on it. He has white khakis on with blue sneakers. Now that is definitely appropriate when you're going to school and you still want to be stylish with their uniform.
Yeah. So for a second model, we have Amelia. She is coming out with a plaid high waist skirt. She has on high socks and she has on cool shoes. She is rocking it with the jean vest and the white shirt.
Right. Now our very next model, Jared, this is the type of look you want to wear when you want to impress teachers, scholars, having your shirt tucked in, yellow, especially if you're in a special type of club, like speaking of FBLA, he's definitely the attire for all A's. He's the type of student that's going to stand out from the crowd.
Okay, well this has been Dapperistas with Mia and
Armani.
See you next time. Hey
lovely people. My name is Maddie, and I'm from DSA.
And I'm Hannah from Lakeside High School.
And you're watching
Code Green. Today we're going to talk about littering and the severe impacts it has on our environment. We're all familiar with the term littering, as well as the new hefty fees our local government is placing on us. But what is littering really? And what does it have to do with you, and why is the fee $1,000? As usual, before we answer this very imperative question, Maddie has a visual.
So, say you're just leaving the Grammys with your award-winning date in your 3,000 suitor dress and you're pacing the streets towards your hotel. When you suddenly realize you aren't walking anymore, you're plummeting to the ground and you curse gravity for betraying you yet again. You realize you just tripped on your face and designer outfit on this less than clean pavement of the Los Angeles sidewalk. Disheveled and disgruntled, you stand up and try to find out what tripped you over. A bag of water bottles. You tripped over an open bag of empty, dirty water bottles, and you're trying to figure out why you didn't win Artist of the Year all at the same time. Your date reminds you that you're in a metropolitan city where people littered, despite laws against it, and that your latest mixtape just didn't make the cut. You decide to make a change immediately. You declare to the world that you will stand up against littering and that you will change your album cover, all in the same movement. You're plotted.
Yes, thank you for that wonderful visual. But tripping over trash isn't the only problem with litter. If you care all about your city, neighborhood, community, or school, the last thing you'd want is for someone from another place to visit and see tons of trash all over. That's super embarrassing, and the place you used to live is now the worst city to live in, or dirtiest cities. That's what happens when residents of the city or neighborhood no longer care about the appearance. But to some others, you are very strict on littering.
To litter, in actuality, is to make a place untidy with rubbish or a large number of objects left lying about. Did you know that $11.5 billion is spent every year just to clean up litter? Did you also know that 9 billion tons of litter ends up in our oceans?
True, but there are so many ways to help lower those numbers. You can join or even create a group that volunteers to pick up trash and help the environment's cleanliness. You can contact the property or business owners. You can even post stop littering signs in your area.
Those are only a couple of suggestions, but you should look up some more after the episode. Once again, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Hannah.
And this has been Code Green.
As a little girl, prancing in pink tutus and viewing the world with wide, inquisitive eyes, all that really matters to us is not catching cooties and dreaming of being a princess. We are eager for when we are able to grow up and get married so we can have children just like our little baby dolls and care for them as well as our mothers have cared for us. At least, that's how I was. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. But as the clock tick-tocks and the days go by and my age on this earth increases second by second, I find that my eagerness to bring a life into this world is fading. It's not that I don't love children, and it's not that I'm afraid I won't find someone. It is the fact that I am afraid of my race. See, while I would love to pursue my dream job after getting a degree at the school of my choice and eventually find someone who I love and cherish to settle down with, I've recently discovered this growing fear in the pits of my stomach of bringing a life into this world. Not just any life, a Black life. Because already after exiting the womb, I know that my son or daughter will already be behind in a game in which the odds of him or her winning are slim and never in their favor. Slim in that they'll be judged, ridiculed, and oppressed before they even get the chance to open their mouth and say hello. Now some may say that's preposterous. I disagree, call them bull. Let me tell you why. It is not easy being Black. Plain and simple. While it's all fun having rhythm and listening to hip-hop and being able to say the N-word whenever I want, whenever I please, it is not easy being Black. And this comes from a light-skinned Black girl living in a suburban neighborhood with both my biological parents and on a path leading to great academic success. I have barely scratched the surface of racial oppression and already know that I don't wish it onto my kids. It is not easy being Black, and for this reason I fear having kids. I fear having kids because I don't want them growing up in a society where even the compliments are insults. I don't want them stereotyped as loud-mouthed, ignorant people who love fried chicken and watermelon with a big old glass of Kool-Aid to wash it down. I don't want for them to be told they sound white or called an Oreo or some other mess simply because they are educated, eloquent, and engaged in society. I don't want for them to have to put up with someone asking about every question under the sun in regards to black people and expect my son or daughter to know. And why would they? Oh yeah, because they're black. I don't want for them to have to put up with someone that starts a phrase by saying, I'm not racist, but before saying the most ignorant racist mess you've ever heard in your life. I want to spare my daughter all the exaggerated neck rolls, Z-snaps, girls, honeys, and yas from some white girl trying to make a joke. Not to mention all the unwanted filthy hands that will pick and prod her luscious curly mane without permission. I don't want for women to clutch their purse tighter as they walk by my son, or for families to lock their car doors as he leisurely strolls by. I don't want for either of my children, but especially my son, to be racially profiled by educators, employers, and worst of all, the police. I don't want my children turned away from jobs on the basis of their skin tone, or to reach that glass ceiling while climbing the corporate ladder and watch as their whiter counterparts take the elevator straight to the top. I don't want my children fetishized or befriended because of their skin tone. Their skin color and friendliness should not be anybody's excuse to invoke the race card and say the N-word because my friend, /lover, /acquaintance, /whoever, /whatever is black. I don't want for them to question their success in any part of life on the basis of their shade. And most of all, I don't want to become the mother of another Trayvon Martin, Oscar Grant, Jordan Davis, Sean Bells, Rakia Boyd, Yvette Smith, Tamir Rice, or Michael Brown. I don't want to become the mother of another black person, young or old, taken before their time. For these reasons and many more, I fear having kids. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It is not easy being black.
What's up? I'm Armand.
And I'm Nigel.
And this is our all-boys edition of
Dapperistas.
Now today, we're gonna be showing a little casual, you know, when you wanna go out, anywhere basically.
Exactly, and casual can be anything from a t-shirt, a jacket, or a blazer. It depends on your style.
Right. You see, a lot of young men don't really know how to casually dress when just going out and being themselves.
Exactly.
So we're gonna have all male models of the bridge demonstrating what to wear on a casual day out and about with their friends and family.
All right.
Starting with our very first male model, Jared. He has an all black shirt on with a gray sweater jacket. He's got the hat to match. He's got red shoes. That's definitely what we would call a casual look for the season.
Sharp casual for like a cooler season. You got the jacket, hat, everything.
Everything to match him.
All right, up next we have Zion. You know, he's rocking the camo pants, gold accents with the chain and the Captivate. Bold statement, but still not too much. Can wear out anywhere.
Right. Have our very next male model, Osaya. He's also wearing a light gray jacket, short sleeve with the white shirt that says something that describes his personality. He also has a red and black plaid shirt strapped to his waist. He has black boots to match and blue jeans. That's definitely a casual look for this season.
And very unique. Don't forget to be unique.
And that was our all boys edition of Dapperistas.
What's up, everybody? We're back here on a bridge, and we will be talking guide code. Now, what is something that you all just suggest that we do not do when we are on a date? Somebody.
Lick your fingers.
Lick your fingers?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Clip your
Don't lick your
toenails.
fingers. Clip your toenails while you're on a date? That's nasty, because what if you clipping your toenails and your toenail maybe hit your girl in the forehead? That's just disgusting.
You can't look at the girl walking by, man. You cannot look at the next girl walking by. It's just, you can't do it.
You can't do it.
But sometimes it's hard, you know, just be like, see a 10 over there.
Yeah, you know, sometimes your eyes, it's just guy code for you to just have that one eye looking straight and then the other one look off to the left and try not to get caught at the same time. Right.
See, you gotta scratch your forehead when you do it.
Yeah. You got to scratch your
You
forehead.
gotta be walking behind. You gotta
Okay.
be walking behind.
Or pull out your phone. Right.
I feel like you shouldn't spend too much either, because then you attract the wrong type of girl. Like you wanna flatter her, but you don't want her to be like attached to you because your money.
Right. Now, how much money is enough money for her to not come at you all the time and say, "Oh, babe, can I have this? Can I have that?"
I think it always has to be like you offering something. Like the moment that she starts asking for something, that's when it starts to at least shift. If it's not already shifted, that's when it at least starts to shift. Like if you're about like, "Hey babe, I just got you these flowers, hey, you gonna get your nails done, I'm paying for the day, but why ain't you paying for me to get my nails?" See, that's when it comes. Right.
I think when it comes to guy code with the girls and guys, for guys, I was taught a long time ago, rule number one, if you're serious, try to never mess with a girl that has less to you lose than you.
Right.
You can save yourself a whole lot of problems. And it doesn't necessarily have to be material or money. So, because you got to think, the girl that's going to come act up and clown, she doesn't have anything to lose. So that's one of the ways you can protect yourself.
He said marinate on that.
Yeah, marinate.
Marinate on that.
Let it sizzle.
Let it sizzle.
So that means just making sure that you're equal or above. Right. Making sure that you connect with somebody who has the same types of goals, same types of values, same kind of aspirations as you do. That way you don't find yourself getting brought down. And we see that in the lives of a lot of athletes where they find themselves, connecting with someone, a young lady or whatnot, who may not have as much as they have to lose, and then they find themselves in a very unique situation. There are people all across the high schools of Atlanta and in colleges that are unable to take it to that next level because of decisions that they've made to interact with someone who did not have as much as they had to lose, and you don't want to find yourself in that
And
group.
they became baggage.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Pugh, what is something that you just do not do is one violation of guy code? And I want to hear some answers from the pit crew.
Well, I think we discussed it a little bit off the air, but you want to make sure from a guy perspective that you don't sit too close to another guy. You want to always make sure that there's some elbow room and some wiggle room. If you start to sit too close, then things become a little more interesting at that point. So yeah, that's one aspect of guy code.
Chew with your mouth closed.
Right. Man, I was telling you, I knew this girl, man. On a date.
Another thing that you can do is make sure, especially when you're talking about dating, if you want to separate yourself from other guys, make sure that you're always respectful. Make sure that you're opening the doors, because that's a lost art. Making sure that you're pulling out the chair for the young lady that you are out with. That way she can get a different perspective, because a lot of your peers are not going to be doing those things.
A guy code, like sort of like a guy on guy thing. Like, just look out for your homie, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you see he on a date with this girl, don't go up to him trying to start conversation. Like, he obviously has something important with his life going on right now.
Right.
Like,
Don't
give him a minute.
block.
Thank you.
I think one of the things that you guys in this generation really needs to work on when it comes to guy code is supporting each other. You know what I'm saying? If you got a friend that's making bad grades, you making good grades, you may need to help him. If you got a friend that's playing sports and he's good at playing sports and you're good in the classroom, it's like it's a balance, because you can help each other. You may grow up and be his manager, you may be his lawyer one day or something like that. So I think we got to really, one of the things in our guy code, we have to stop that division of competition when it comes to friend on friend competition and guy on guy competition inside of a circle. Because if you're in a school or you're in an environment where you and your peers hang out all the time, a good attitude and a good relationship is going to go a whole lot further than a bad relationship. Because we got people that hate each other for no reason at all, not understanding the connection that person could be for you on a whole nother level. And sometimes we never get a chance to even understand that or get to know the person, because we automatically have an attitude with each other for no reason at all that has nothing to do with the business of what we're in school doing, or what we're on the set doing, or what we're on the team doing. we have a attitude with each other, or we don't like each other for no reason at all, and we never get to understand or get to see that extension of the relationship and what it could bring.
Yeah, I think one of the number one violations is when you with your girl and you look either as good or better than your girl. You killing it. I mean, it's okay to have your swag or whatever, but if you just looking out, just outdoing your girl, that's just a violation. You can't do that. You gotta let her have it.
Would you say you can't have your eyebrows better than hers?
Oh no. You can't have your nails painted clear and hers looking chipped away. No. Now, do you all think that when we maybe go out on a date that we should wear the same clothing, wear the same jogging suit, wear the back of her pants say "got mo," and then your pants say "but"? Do you think that we should do anything like that? Is that a violation of got code?
I think it depends on the situation. It depends on where you're going. It could be something. It could be an event going on where that may be appropriate, and But I mean, sometimes it could be monkey. You know what I'm saying? So it just really depends on what you're doing and what's going on.
Yeah, and it also depends on your where the relationship is. I mean, for somebody like me, depending on how long I'm with a girl, that would really tell that situation. But if I'm with somebody just going out on a date or going somewhere casual like a movie, that seems just a little bit too much just to be showing out that, oh, that's my girl.
Right. I think holding hands is enough,
Sometimes.
Unless she don't have on no lotion then. Hands feeling like sandpaper.
Now guys, what is the best impression that you could put on a girl on the very first date? Because the very first date is supposed to be the best date.
Make them laugh.
Make them
laugh?
Make them laugh.
He said, be a gentleman, make them laugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure your teeth on point.
Right.
Make sure they all, yeah.
Breath.
Yeah, make sure your breath don't stink.
One trick, baking soda. We use baking soda. Breath won't never stink.
Now I see you got your little jacket on and everything, but do you have any tips, things that we should wear on the first date?
Yeah, I think it depends on where you're going. If you are going out to a nice restaurant, then dress the part. If you're going out to an outdoor concert or something like that, then jeans and more relaxed is probably the better way to make that happen. So just take a look at it from the perspective of where you're going.
So, but if he has on jeans and she has on jeans, are they dressed alike?
Ooh. You're right. Now I think we have room enough for one more question. Anybody? The ball is in your court. Got code.
Guys, is it appropriate to wear pink as a guy? Is that against guy code? Is that,
I think it depends on what you're wearing. Yeah. Because those new Pharrell Stan Smith's pinks are kind of dope.
You got you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta know how to do it.
Right.
I think it's more accessory, if you got a pink, maybe that you got a pink watch and some nice pink shoes on, ball do you, but if you wearing a pink beret, there's some things you can't wear at all.
You don't want to look like Pinky from Friday.
Right.
No, you don't want to look like him.
No pink pants.
No, not at all.
There you go. You got it in the car.
All right, we want to thank Mr. Pugh.
Appreciate it.
Greg Street. And this has been segment Kickback of the Bridge of Guy Code.
All right, good morning, class. I remember last class I told you guys to purchase your philosophy books. Yes, Franklin.
If Apple made a car, will it still have windows?
Hey everyone, I'm Prentice.
And I'm Shalom.
And welcome to the first All Guys What's the Move.
Today we're going to be talking about high school, but with our perspective on it. How we actually feel about it, how we should act, and how to survive it.
Boys in high school actually have a higher rate of committing suicide, not applying for college, and of dropping out of high school altogether.
We might not be the obvious choice for who has the hardest time starting high school, but on average, males between the ages of 14 and 18 have reported that high school was harder for them than other people thought.
Sometimes we can feel, because we are guys, we can't tell anyone how we feel.
But in all reality, all boys are thinking the same thing and all want someone to talk to.
Let's go talk to some male DeKalb students.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
So, what advice would you guys give boys who are about to start high school or have just started high school?
Well, my advice is to definitely make sure you stay to your studies, because like I'm a senior now, and I know a lot of seniors that they messed up their GPA, so they can't really apply to the colleges they want to go to. And another thing I would say, stay true to yourself. Like, if someone's doing the wrong thing or something you feel is wrong, you don't have to follow them. Just be yourself, and you can tell. And if you tell them too that they're doing wrong, because you want to be a positive role model to everyone else.
Yeah, I feel like I would just tell them, you know, make sure you stay focused, because it's a lot of distractions. It's a lot of more freedom, and you could get easily distracted and head down the wrong path really quickly. So just stay focused, have tunnel vision, and just set goals, and that way you can reach them. So.
Thanks. And how has your high school experience changed the way you are or what you've become as a person?
Well, when I got to high school, it was a whole different world, so I had to mature. But I mean, I still joke. I mean, everybody knows that I'm, you know, kind of the class clown. But I mean, really, it just kept me focused. Because, you know, middle school is like, okay, you get chance after chance, but when it's high school, it's like, okay, this is time to get serious, and it's time to start worrying about your future.
Have you been getting serious?
Yes, definitely. Especially towards the end of the year. You got, you know, finals coming up, ELCTs.
AP exams.
Yeah. It can be stressful.
Yeah, it can be stressful. And also, with my high school experience, I've definitely had to mature. And the thing is, you had to, like, from the beginning, you had to pick out, you had to know what you want to do in your future. You have to know and make sure you take the classes that will help you, prepare you for your future, and do all these different things to help prepare you for life, just in general. And they also in high school, there's no babying anybody. Once you reach high school, you're an adult. You're working towards becoming an adult. And you got to make sure you stay with that mindset, because a lot of people will fool around and, you know, just do the same things they did in middle school or in elementary school. So, yeah.
Yeah. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your high school experience so far?
I'm a senior now, so definitely a 10.
I mean, I can't really sum it all up, because each year was like another step. So I'd probably say freshman year was like a 7, 10th grade year, 8. Like, so it just got progressively better.
I think that year was the most boring year ever. Like,
Okay.
nothing happens.
So, why do you think that males are more drawn or more like highly known to drop out of high school?
I think it's because, like you said, we don't really talk about our feelings, because we feel like that's a sign of weakness. And it's because of that we don't have anyone to express our emotions to, or vent to, or, you know, and let all these emotions out, and the stress begins to get to us, and then it eventually eats us up, and then next thing you know, we're dropping out of high school.
Mm-hmm. And, like, you know, another thing that comes with just being a male in general, and I myself, a black male, is a lot of pressure that gets put upon you even before you even graduate, because, you know, you already know it's going to be harder for you to get certain things and get certain opportunities. So some people just don't have the willpower and end up dropping out. So it just all depends on the person.
All right. Hey, thank you guys for answering us those questions.
Yeah, and catch us next time on What's the Move.
Stay tuned.
Hey guys, my name is Shalom, and you're watching Parenting 101 Guys version. Today's message comes from user 2kidsenough123, who asks, "My son is always complaining about how he's bored, but I don't want his life to be run by technology. What are some ways I can keep him entertained without going to electronics?" Well, here are some of my suggestions. Boys are known to be more commonly active, so I suggest you keep him enrolled in some extracurricular activities such as basketball teams, track teams, maybe even fitness clubs if your school has them available. You could even start one. That's pretty proactive to me. Also, I suggest that you have a sit down with your son and see what kind of things he likes, so you can have him entertained with things that he likes and not force him to do anything he doesn't want to. So you'll have a happy son and you'll be a great parent. Prentice, I seen this guy on stage and he looked kind of familiar.
Yeah, you know he performed on a show last time and he's also part of the cast.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Please welcome Zorian Ramone singing Learn to Fly, written by Q.
Hey, I need y'all to clap.
A young girl turns a woman, and along the way she learns. Life is so hard, and when you play with fire it burns. But when you learn to fly, you learn to fly, you learn to fly. Waiting on your moment, that one day you reach the top. Hey, and you get what you wanted, 'cause you got to hold the spot. But when you learn to fly, learn to fly, learn to fly, learn to fly. Future, closer than you think, but still it seems so far. Used to the shining light that you emit because you a star. All the little things that you never notice, your eyes are always open but never focused. So never doubt yourself because you have true potential. And when you reach for success, make sure you influence until the end. Hey, keep your head high, reach for the sky. You'll be there soon and learn to fly. To jump on the right path when you decide. You're destined for greatness, you should be alive. But you a child of God, so don't be surprised. Just keep your head high and reach for the sky. You a child of God, so don't be surprised. Just keep your head high and reach for the sky. Keep your head up to the sky. Soon you have learned to fly. Keep holding on, 'cause you know the battle is not lost. Learn to fly. 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 Learn to
Thanks for tuning into The Bridge. We hope that you learned something new with us today.
Yes, we would like to extend a thank you to all of our guests, and we appreciate you all for coming on the show today.
Now be sure to tune in next time. We'll be discussing technology dependence and mental health.
Right. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hashtag, and share The Bridge with all of your friends. From everyone here, see you next time.